Oh, that looks nice, right? So yeah, and we might have to rehash some of those conversations because I met some cool people the last couple of weeks, and I've been kind of jamming out with new people. And I have so many decks where it's kind of cool because it gives me an experience watching other people play my deck. And I've been playing at my house quite a bit. And everyone's like super excited that like I told them about the website, the podcast, and
Oh
like
yeah.
potentially starting games. Like there are so many people that are like, yeah, like let's do it.
I
And go ahead.
Well, that said, like I really want to pick a day because obviously I want to go through your bulk because
Yeah.
I love going through bulk, but I really want to like pick your brain on like, and we can do this on the podcast. I would actually prefer it, but like, going through my deck techs and then seeing what you would improve because in standard I'm pretty confident with like deck building, but in commander I'm just building what I think is cool. Like the
Yeah.
Sharoom deck, the infinite combos or the comboing out are really bizarre. I think they're cool because I'm
Hmm.
not just like running like the artifact dies dude, which I'm
Yeah.
going to get because that's a no brainer. I need to have
Yeah.
that. But yeah, I really want to do that because like
That'll be cool.
yeah. But yeah, I also want to come by and then like play games, but also like
Yeah, man. Like my girlfriend works on Saturday, so usually on Saturdays where I'm like I have to go to the Apple store this Saturday, but other than that, like usually I'm free. I'm getting this room. Like I'd love your opinion on like a lot of my stuff. And if we get it good, like we might be able to get a couple games in with a group of people you haven't ever played with.
yeah.
And you can always borrow my decks if your decks feel like overpowered or anything else. Like I found it pretty interesting. It's almost like uh, this would be a great idea for a podcast. And I haven't played in Michigan, but I felt like there's a lot of different dialects of Commander, right? Like where you play at one shop and you feel this way, you play at another shop. And it's not explicit, but the meta just feels kind of cool, kind of different, where you don't know what you're walking yourself into.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of there's like people that come into the shop here and there that like are new, and then I have to like this one dude that apparently everyone knows, but he's rarely there, and he played just dinosaurs, which was really fun. But then there's the people that are running the super friends with the end step proliferates. There's two
Yeah,
people that run that, and so like I literally like there's been times where I've thought about just like switching cards real quick just to make sure that I touch all bases because there's a consistency. Like the Thassa's Oracle combos are in pretty much every Esper deck that I've played against at my shop. There's mono green decks, which are pretty fucking fun to play against. I love mono green. And then
yep,
there's like trickles here and there, but there's like a meta within my shop. But like back at like more fun game center, that was a different meta as well.
yep.
So
When Reaper is way different too. Like
I've
Reaper
never
is
played at Reaper, and
okay.
I used to do pre-releases in standard there. I really want to do I really want to go play
They do
Commander over
great
there.
bundles in Denton. Is that the guy with the dinosaur deck? That's not Jordan, is it?
Mm-mm.
Long hair. Okay.
No,
He used
some.
to play that.
I mean, no, it definitely wasn't Jordan.
Okay.
I got his name, but I'm terrible with
Okay.
names.
So uh, new dual lands completes the cycles. I'm kind of excited. These lands, and speaking of lands, the other lands that are really cheap right now are the Commander Legends lands. They're like $3 a pop for
Commander Legends lands.
yeah, and it's these that are in reprinted in Commander Legends. So if you have two or more opponents, they come in untapped.
Oh
I
yeah.
so they're worth picking up now. I just haven't, but I'm excited to see like the full cycle. They're not shock lands. They're not identified by their type either. I think these are really good in Commander because on turn 3, they likely will come in untapped.
Hmm. Yeah. I also am a big fan of that. And maybe it's just me, but there's a part of me that doesn't really give a shit about like I don't like fetch lands, and so
Yep.
this you can't fetch these, which I quite enjoy
Mm-hmm.
because there's always that one person that's just like takes one next turn, takes one next turn, takes one, and I was like, dude, you're literally like okay. And then like, but if you like know what you're gonna get, like I'm gonna get a Misty Rainforest, like okay, cool, whatever, and then pass the
Yeah.
turn. But like people will like look through their deck and try to plan it, which I get, but just every fucking turn, I'm just like, fuck, bro.
And yeah, because this is almost like a politic kind of thing too, like where you have to look around the table and make sure you're not annoying everybody. Because if you're doing it on someone's end step, my favorite thing to do against those kids is stifle it, right? Turn to stifle their misty rainforest. And then they tap it, they don't get a land. They sack the land, don't get a land. It counters target activated ability, right? So I did that against someone playing slivers, and he just like his mouth like dropped, right? Because that was his only chance of fixing his mana to be able to cast whatever slivers were in his hand.
It's always fun to fucking counter someone's like soul ring.
The
It's
art,
such a dick move.
yeah, the art on
The
these,
art is impeccable. I love it.
yeah.
I don't like the Boros color combination, but that art reminds me of Mordor, and I'm a whore for Lord of the Rings.
Oh, it's coming out. So first legendary, I wish I would have ordered these differently. This thing is powerful.
Very. I love it.
6 mana, right? Flying haste, so cast it, swing, you're good. But for 6 mana, I mean, you're not getting that out until turn 4, maybe turn 5 at the
Yeah,
earliest.
especially because like, yeah, with Rakdos, that color combination. I mean, realistically, if you just hold off on a like a dark ritual and then, or maybe even a Jeskai Will, you could probably get it out pretty quickly, depending
You
on,
may not want to, right?
I mean, oh yeah,
Because you want to mill yourself.
which
And
sucks because blue, it would be really easy to just like flonk like half your deck.
you know what I would do is play an Anja or Chainer. This goes automatically in Chainer, goes in Angie or Anja, the one that the Madness Commander.
Oh, right.
So, and it's a vampire
Yeah.
too, right? So, and she was pretty cheap. I think I picked up a couple of those after our last talk on like what commander products would be like. And she's not the commander by any sense, but I think she's good in the 99. Don't think that she'll see too much, maybe, but I don't, unless you can cheat her out. In standard, definitely not modern, right? Like where this is one of those cards that everybody's so excited about, where everybody tries to buy her, and it's like it's a 6-drop 3/4 flying haste. And
Yeah.
if you don't, so I run so much graveyard hate now with all the graveyard shenanigans where this thing would target
Mhm.
nothing.
Yeah, no, I have a I'm slowly putting a bunch of graveyard stuff in my decks only because like I mean, I'm to blame as well. I literally have a bunch of shit that like even in Simic I just have the like bring all lands back and then it just like triggers an ass load. So it's like especially if I have spores and stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely like this can get shut down really quickly, but as long as you have like your focal point is milling yourself just to get the creatures back out, then I mean
Oh,
I
the
can see
other
this being very
combo,
powerful. What?
the other combo is the one from Kalia, the where you tap and you bring the demon back that can only attack alone, and it turns someone's life into one
Oh yeah. Oh
because it
god.
gets around it because it brings it back tapped and attacking.
Yeah.
So you entomb it, right? And then you swing in. I still don't think if it was 4 mana, 5 mana, then definitely. But I don't know. And you almost need to run more legendary vampires. This would go in Edgar. But if you're not running legendary vampires, you have to
Yeah.
exile it later. Like, and you're not getting that back either. So you can't just rely on Rakdos good stuff here. But if you get that demon out and you swing in, it's GG for a player.
Yeah.
I'll
Especially
have
if
to
you
look that
have like
demon up.
burn.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think this can be really good as a I think it could be really good as a commander. It just and I would love to play against it or even play it because like you can make some really weird shenanigans. I don't think you can combo out with it, but you can definitely like I guess technically bringing that demon is a combo.
Blightsteel Colossus, right? Like where you're just putting
Yeah.
fat boys in.
Mhm.
Like you need to run like enough legendary vampires in red and black. And I don't know, like there's a lot, right? But if you're not
Yeah.
running enough legendary vampires, you might hose yourself too. But Blightsteel, like you're talking Entomb, cast this Entomb turn 1, ramp turn 2, turn 3 or 4, you're casting Olivia. Like depending if you're talking Jessica's Will or you're talking, I think there is some potential. It won't be like CEDH,
No,
but
definitely
I
not.
think there's some fun Entomb combos in here where it's not Dreadhorn General, but it's the red and black demon that when he attacks and can attack, he has to attack alone. And you would run sack outlets too. So you'd run like Ashnod's Altar,
Yep.
where you cheat out something and you're just swinging away. Ashnod's Altar, like I have a Greven deck that does that, where it's sacrificing creatures to draw cards, but you're even willing to play creatures that suck because it means that you're swinging with a huge creature.
This has potential. This definitely has potential. This fucking card.
I don't know, man. I don't like it. It goes in like a vampire deck and that's it. Right.
Yes, and I get that. And I'm obviously I don't have any vampire decks, but I love lands like that. Granted, like take out the like vampire part, amazing. I want a playset of them. But I think it's a really cool deck. Or sorry, really cool card. The 5 tap is trash. I don't want that.
And it costs one less for each vampire you control.
Yeah, I mean,
I
there's
don't.
enough board wipes in standard that's gonna be rough.
Again, though, I would put this in the Rakdos Madness deck, though, right? Just pay one, discard a card, sacrifice this artifact, draw a card.
Yeah.
The blood artifacts are not good unless you get some benefit from discarding.
Yeah. No,
There's
yeah.
lots of vampires that want you to do that, but yeah, I would not pick this card up until it rotated. If it does see standard play, if it's a buck, I'll buy a couple because vampires are kind of cool.
Vampires are cool, and then we also, I mean, we have a vampire deck coming out now, which is cool.
Well, and Markov, there's a couple, right? Like,
Dude, Sorin, oh, dude, most of his printings are really good. I mean, his what 3-drop was a little weird. Or
like he's next.
Yeah, that shit is one. That art is dope.
I like and I like the Castlevania art. This one reminds me too much of Twilight. But I like how Wizards is doing that, right? Like you and I are saying, I like this card, because it's going to keep the price low. I don't think this guy is great. Like, I guess he can protect himself, right? A 2/3 flying vampire, like that will see standard play. It's not.
I mean, I'm not going to see that in qualifiers. Because I mean, it's just like this just seems so fucking slow. Like, cool, you get like you have some card advantage, I guess, and then you could down tick for a lifelink flyer, which is fine too. But like the amount of just Izzet decks that are running rampant and standard right now, this isn't going to last very long.
I would not see this in modern for sure. I don't like the first ability either, and you're not getting to 7,
especially in other formats besides like standard. Like this is like a shittier that top ability should be in green. They just made a real, this is weird.
Yep. Reprint.
This is reprints. Love this card.
Like the art. I see a bunch of people trying to sell them now, so avoid buying them now, right? Like these will probably be $6-7, but yeah, like someone's trying to sell a play set of foils for a couple hundred. It sees legacy play, Death and Taxes plays it. So I mean it's a 2/1 with first strike and then has the tax part. So I think it's overrated for Commander unless you're trying. It's a hate bear.
I didn't realize it was legendary.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be your Commander. In the 99 is pretty good, right? If your deck falls into that category.
I love being able to have tax. Like, dude, Propaganda is in like every blue deck that I have. It's so fun.
You just got to be careful with your Planeswalkers.
Yeah.
More flip cards. More blood tokens. If you create a blood token, if you control 5 or more, I don't think this is playable. It's a vampire, right? But if a non-token creature dies, so if it was any creature, you would make blood tokens. It's not good enough to see any play, in my opinion.
You got to keep it alive. If you can keep it alive, then you could potentially do it. But like, you have to like maybe with sack outlets. I mean, even if you run in Sir Conrad, that's like fucking aristocrats. But
No.
no, I don't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't run this. It's cool. The idea is cool, but I wouldn't run it. If
And
it was like,
I just don't see it, right? Like it's just a 2/2 bat with flying and haste.
yeah, if this would be really good if it wasn't up to one, it was just all of them.
Well,
Just all of them. So you're gonna have at least 5/2/2 flyers at the beginning of combat.
so in the 99, would you rather play the Locust God
Oh, I mean, come on.
and you're playing 5 mana, right? So you're talking 5 creatures, unless you have some other way to make blood tokens, which there may be. If you're talking a green black deck with like doubling tokens, cool. But I don't know. I'm not impressed with this card. I don't even think it will see standard. Like getting 5 blood tokens,
No, there's no way, especially with the 3-drop is it card. I can't remember
right?
the one that you picked too. I love this. Oh yeah, we talked about this. This card's
Yeah,
cool.
I like the arts on these. Like it's an interesting idea because you can enchant a creature and that enchantment could be your commander. So you pay 2, you get them out early. It's a 4/4. 10% of your damage is your first time swinging, but then you have to sacrifice it. But if you blink it after damage before the end of combat and the cleanup stage, blink it and then you don't lose it. I don't know, man. And the tokens like that too, right? The 4/4 white spirit, like it leaves at the end of combat.
This is like obviously the two would not work together, but this would be great with Winota.
Mm-hmm.
This would be fucked. Yeah, I mean, I like it. The art is awesome, but I'm a sucker for, Azaria's spirits. I like it. I like the disturb mechanic as well. I've been slowly becoming a fan of it. And then also like, I mean, at the end of the day, like you have an enchanted creature that literally pumps 4/4s. You have to sack him at the end of turn, but as long as you have other blockers, it's not a bad card. I think it'll do well in standard. I don't think it'll see anything else as far as like in EDH.
It doesn't die to removal, right? So 3 is your magic number for a bolt.
Yeah.
Comes out turn 2. It's a flyer, deals 20% of your life.
Yeah, and then you can flicker this thing, right? And it
Yep.
won't like. Okay, cool. I mean, I guess the goal is to kill it.
And then you enchant something on your next turn.
Mm-hmm.
So you pay 2, turn 3 comes around, you swing in, it dies, you cast another one.
You could run a white blue tempo and just have this as the commander.
And you could run your counters that way. You could run your Thalias that way too.
This would be a fun deck to build. I'd probably be a budget deck, but it'd be fun. This fucking
This
card.
is oh man, look at that art too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
alt
that
art.
chain.
It's really gross looking, and I'm in love with it.
Could you imagine flashing that out? Like, just imagine the lightning coming down and it just pops. It's right there. That's pretty good. Like that art is just. I hope there's alternative arts of this too.
Oh yeah, 100%. If not, that's fine. This is still really good art. I would really at least would love a full art.
Yeah, the wings are so cool too. And it's a zombie. Definitely would go in the zombie deck, especially with the exploit mechanic where you exploit a decayed zombie.
Oh fuck, this is gonna see so much standard. Hell, I'm gonna
Yeah.
run it. I don't give a fuck.
And I'm just hoping I can get a copy or two before it spikes up to $20. Because it counters targeted ability, triggered ability, activated ability. It counters anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And for 4 mana, that's pretty good.
That's very good.
This is a card you love. I'm indifferent about. I think the
I
mechanic is cool though, the cleave mechanic.
I like it just because it turns itself into a tutor. The origin, like the actual like the dig up part, the original spell is fucking trash. I would rather just use a what is it? The 2-drop where you grab a land, put it into play taps. Like that's better, even though it's 1 mana more. But I do like the I just like tutors, so I'm a fan of it. But I mean, like, do I want to put it in? I could probably put it in elves, but I probably won't even put it in slivers just because I can cycle slivers and just go find them.
Yeah.
And then I have reanimation outlets in the sliver deck, so it's like I probably would only run this in elves. So it's like it'd be cool to have, and I don't think it's going to jump in price at all. And
I
it'll
don't.
probably see play in like Sultai decks in standard at least.
It allows you to find the land that you need. Things
Yeah,
buried in Innistrad rarely seem to stay that way.
pretty cool flavor text.
Yeah. This is a mythic.
I don't really care for the training mechanic. We
I
have a
don't,
lot of those.
I mean, you're risking it, right? Like when this creature attacks with another creature, it's a 3-drop for a 1/2.
Hmm. That's expensive for a once. I mean, potentially, sure, it could be like, um, it could get bigger, but like you have to keep pumping shit out to make sure that it gets huge. And like, there's better, and maybe in proliferate, but that's just slow.
The only really, really cool thing about this card is in a mill deck because it exiles other target creature from the battlefield or creature card from a graveyard. And when it leaves the battlefield, put the exiled card on the battlefield under their owner's control. So it's under owner's control, but if you're milling yourself, you might be able to cheat something big out that way by blinking. I don't think it's good though, because it's whenever it trains, it likely, unless you're Lazatop plating, unless you're not Teferi's protection, what's the Teferi one? The time like where you're blinking this card
Yeah.
to cheat it out. Because
I
it
mean,
doesn't have to do combat damage, but if you're blinking it, it's gonna lose its counter too.
there's so many like I would accept this to be a really good card if it was a 2-drop, or if it would be a 3-drop, but instead of its owner's control under your control, then it'd be like cool, 3-drop, let's do it. But
I bet
it's
this card's breakable. I don't know how yet. The 2 white part is making it like you need 2 white and 1
yeah,
mana cost.
there he is.
There he is. So this one, or is it this one? Oh no, it's this one, right? The third one, that's the Castlevania one, where
Yeah,
they got the art, the artist from that. I don't think this card's as good, but the art's kind of cool. I
it
don't know
is.
how I feel about this one though, right?
Yeah, I mean that's like low key, like kind of trash. But I'm a sucker like the Godzilla cards. I don't have all of them, but I have the majority of them. And we
Mhm.
talked about it over the phone a while back. I
Yeah.
love them. The card itself, but the art specifically. But it's cool because it's like, okay, cool, it's Dracula. Like, let's go. I will say, like, you have to do 3 ticks and then you can do 13 damage and then you gain 13. That part's pretty cool, but like again, Soren's not going to stay on the
But
field
how
long
are you
enough.
protecting him?
Yeah, so like in like that's the thing. Like I wouldn't know how to. I mean, I guess like I'm trying to think what I would run this in, but I don't really have anything that I would run it in. Maybe I mean maybe elves, but even that's kind of like I can just do the same thing with my commander. So it's like why the fuck am I
Yeah.
why?
I don't think, I mean, there's another sword though that literally turns your life to 13, target a player to 13,
Oh yeah, yeah.
right?
And it's
Like,
like
I don't know, man. Um,
it's not very good. Oh, so okay.
cool. The big two. So 2 new decks are coming out. A new vampire deck apparently, because we only have three of them now. Um, and then the spirit deck, which is kind of interesting, is blue white, like not like what I predicted. I was hoping that they'd kind of make it a little bit more flashy, but and not banned, not Esper.
I'm
Um,
really glad it's not Esper.
but let me be honest, though, I'm very happy with the cards that I was naming to kind of say that blue white that gives all spirits hexproof.
Oh yeah.
3 drop. This spell costs one less to cast for each spirit you control.
These tribal decks will be very fucking strong. Yeah, I'm super excited. Um, I also really enjoy that this has like it lessens the colorless
Yep.
because that I saw that I didn't even read it, but I saw that and I was like, oof, all right. But then it's like potentially like a 2 drop like on the first cast. I'm like, oh yeah, hell yeah, let's go.
You play Annoyed Procession, even though it's like a $40 card at this point. God, wouldn't that be a crazy reprint?
What is that one?
Annoyed Procession doubles your tokens.
Oh,
I would, you know what? It might be in this. Wouldn't that be some? Oh man. At the beginning of your end step, create a blood token for each player who lost life this turn.
so there, that is an outlet, and you could run like Sir Conrad and run aristocrats with that, but that seems kind of slow. But I mean, it's Rakdos, so
Yeah, and it's a 3/2. So I don't know what you do with a
if it was a
3/2.
3/4, that'd be nice. But
Yeah, and it attacks, and you may sacrifice. Now you're gonna want to make as many blood tokens as possible. It would be a cool madness deck, right? It gains indestructible until end of turn.
see, that's okay. So like, if that was just a creature card, this thing would be cracked because you could just lay down uh the um the 11/11 artifact with infects. That would be so good. But
okay.
I mean, like, hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's another vampire, and I'm trying to think of another vampire that would actually like make a difference. Like, sure, it has indestructible, but it's like, I mean,
Uh, I mean, if this was your commander, are you saying in the 99?
I wouldn't run this as a commander. Um, but I would run it in the 99 for sure. But I'm saying like, yeah, what would another vampire card be if this was the commander? Would there be a groundbreaking vampire to actually like run that could actually make a difference, or are we just running fucking 1/1s with lifelink?
Yeah, I think that's a good question to ask. There's one more slide, and I kind of want to go and look at Scryfall for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this one looks like the spirit Maleficent looks like Nagila almost, the blood Nagila, because whenever it deals combat damage to a player, create a 1/1 or it dies, but it's another non-token and it has to deal damage. It's not as strong, but in
You're
some
talking about
level,
the
it's like,
Blade Blossom?
yeah, the Blade Blossom.
Mhm.
But yeah, the last one that I have is Wedding Ring. This is a mythic. And it's coming in the spirit deck, I guess, right? Because it has the commander. Like they're the same
Yeah,
symbol, I
yeah,
think. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You know which part of the deck it comes in. What a weird card. This sucks. I mean, unless you're playing mono white, this card is just like it strikes me as a really good card if you're running no life gain and you're running no card draw. Because you don't want to have someone else gain the life. You don't want someone else drawing the cards.
Dude, if like, I think this could be good, but this is inconsistent. This is not very consistent because if you don't have any card draw, like I don't fucking have any card draw with slivers, like none. I just bring slivers out and just swing with them. And then I also don't gain life with them. I don't run the life gain ones. It's just beatdown. And so like this, if someone like gave me an artifact, it's like this is fucking useless. Also, really fucking easy to get rid of artifacts. So it's
Yep.
I can see why this card sucks. If it was a 2-drop, it'd be a different story, but it's not.
But why not just make it a like I just am hung up on the mythic part. Like I don't see anything that's I'm trying to see it, man. Like, but I just don't. Like if you're playing against an Alluro deck, this is really good.
Maybe we're not, maybe we're just like overseeing a combo, maybe.
Ah,
Or maybe it, I mean, or potentially, I mean, even
I
yeah,
think they broke this card because you have to cast it in order. If you could blink it, it'd be kind of cool. Like in a group hug deck, you blink it like 3 times, and if it was an ETB
dude, if you could blink it
and
like
give
a
it to another
fuckload of
player.
times, yeah, you could like because you could whenever an opponent target opponent, so you could do like if you could blink it like what 5 times,
Yep.
you have 5 tokens and you're just drawing all the cards. That would be good. And then gaining life, that would be fantastic. So I mean,
Yep.
like,
Like you just have a couple of them underneath your actually that might be doable, like copy artifact, because whenever an opponent who controls an artifact, because it would trigger twice for each of your rings, and it's not legendary. So you make 4 copies of this, and that other person with the ring draws that.
I guarantee the spirit precon has a duplication, has some way of cloning this thing. That's the only reason why I would say that I could see it being mythic.
I almost feel like it's a flavor fail though, right? Like where the wedding ring is with a ghost or with a spirit. But let's look up vampires.
So let's see. Um, so I played while you're looking that up. I played with a guy that had that he was playing Locust of Mana, Omnoth.
Yep. Is that the
And
mono green one, right?
yeah, and your mana pool doesn't empty and it gets +1/+1. It was so fun playing against. I fucking love mono green. I don't know why the hell I don't have a mono green deck yet, but essentially what happened before what's that one enchantment? It's a white, cost 2, and it all creatures lose all abilities and they're 1/1s. Do you know what card I'm talking about?
No.
Let me see. Scryfall. White loses all. Let's just do that.
What'd you say? What'd you say it did?
It loses. You lose all creatures lose all abilities, and then they become 1/1s.
Oh. Living or living earth, is it? Or
No, it's fuck. The best part about a podcast is the dead space. Oh fuck. Okay. Well, I'll probably find it if anyone knows it and is listening to this. Just fucking blow up someone because it's gonna bug the fuck out of me because everyone runs it. But essentially, what ended up happening was so he was just tapping and untapping. He had that one chick that like untapped all permanents at the end of each end step.
Yeah.
Well, essentially, so he didn't have trample, and for some reason he didn't have a trample outlet. Like he had one card, but before the counters got because he lost all abilities. Before the counters got taken off, he was at 7,000, and he was like, "Yeah, this deck doesn't have infinite combos." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's horseshit. You have a 7,000 over 7,000 creature on the board. That's a combo out, dog.
Yeah.
You swing at one person, they're fucking dead."
That's funny.
He was like, "I should run Rogue's Passage." I'm like, yeah, no shit. All right, back to the topic. So, I mean, yeah, like vampires. I mean, just the Innistrad ones alone are fire.
This is black, so I'm looking at higher CMC cards, right?
Yeah. The
cards are low to the ground. Oh, this one's really good.
What is it?
Defiant Bloodlord.
Oh yeah.
Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that life. You would put that in.
How much is that?
cheap.
That's not bad. Okay, I really want to run that in Conrad. It's a bit expensive, but like honestly, like
You
it's
can
fucking
cheat them
money
out.
fly.
It's not.
Yeah. I need to get a fucking mind crank. I keep saying that. I gotta write that down.
Flying
What's
haste.
that's not very good though. Yeah, you have
Captain
to.
attacking within this card's good. Flying haste. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, put 2+1/+1 counters on it.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's a
pretty good.
5-drop, comes in, swings in, it's indestructible.
Bro, the Nighthawks. Ooh, that'd be yeah, okay.
But I mean, for 4 mana, you're cheating. Like I'm looking for big things to cheat out.
Yeah.
It has landfall.
I mean, you're not gonna be dropping lands that often in a Rakdos deck.
Now there's my baby again.
Yeah, that needs to be in it. Like that's a perfect. I think there's a lot of synergy with that.
Oh, that card's good. How much is this card?
It's like $7. It's not bad. Destroy target creature for only 3 black.
That card's good, man.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. That's fucking dope.
$22. Oh man, this would be a great mono black deck. Like you're not getting him out though. You need to cheat him out.
Oh yeah, dude. If my commander is that expensive, dude, even 6, hell, even 5 mana is pushing it for me. I love that Mariki is 3 mana. I want a commander that's 2.
There's getting more and more of them. There's a this is kind of fun. This card's really good. This would go in it, right? You cheat it out and all your swamps add an additional.
That'd be dope. So let me go. Hold on. Let me go back to the commander. I need to read it again. Fuck, I keep hitting my mic. Because like hold on. Where's you at? Okay. Oh, dope. So it's not like that boar god where you have to like bring it back to your hand. Okay, that's pretty overpowered. I like that. All right. So this is just okay, cool. I would run this as a commander. I thought
I have a bunch of these. These were the buy a box promos.
dude, I've been looking for one of those. How
I
much are they?
have probably close to 40 of them.
Well, I might need to pick
$4.
one of those up. $4, not bad. It's only because I really want to insert Conrad.
Very good. Another vampire dragon.
Weird. What does it do?
Every creature is dealt this with. Huh, that's interesting. It's kind of cool art, but
It's like old art. I like it. I love old art. I don't really like that card. I mean, cool. It gives death touch, but like,
yeah, Henning is always cool.
also in like, it's like vampire tribal. A lot of these have like lifelink and death touch. So it's like,
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, man. So it'll be cool to kind of get together and kind of figure out my setup because I have webcams. That's going to be sweet. I'm really excited to kind of just start pushing out content and just like I'm not like I'll write something small for this, but it's just fun talking about Commander. And then I don't know, like there's a bunch of people that are like, hey, like if you want, we'll talk, we'll get on. And I'm like, yeah, that would be sweet. Get like 3 or 4 people on here. I got a couple webcams, and I think my webcams are, as long as they're 1080, I think you're fine. But I got the tripods. I got that hangover thing that will like I I don't know why, but I said, hey girlfriend, do you mind if I drill holes? And she's like, it's your house. And I was like, yeah, very good point. So a
Mhm.
lot of it, like I'm like super stoked about. And you said the sound sounding better.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
100%. I
cool.
can hear it,
Yeah, I
especially
got
because you
mad
turned
at
down the gain and that you like and you laid the padding down.
yeah.
Um, yeah, this is gonna be fun, and also like other podcasts that I'm in. Eventually, I'm sure Jordan would want to come on here,
Yeah.
and then vice versa. So
No, no, yeah, that's completely cool. I don't know much about Sanders, but yeah, if he's around and wants to shoot the shit, then yeah, I'm all for it, man. Like the more the merrier. I'm not looking at this as a financial thing, but just like kind of a hobby to build up and kind of go from there. I'm kind of just looking to actually start producing and like instead of doing a local game store, I mean, I played both on Friday and Saturday night here where people just came to my house and we just played. And the next thing I'm gonna buy, and I'm probably gonna cut the video like 5 minutes before this, but
mhm,
I'm gonna start looking at the arch enemy stuff and build like an
mhm,
arch enemy deck, like of like the giant one. And I really, really want to message Rudy to see if he'll play because no one talks to Rudy like that. Like, right? Like, see if he'll play EDH and do like an arch enemy game and like make it super cool where like we'll build commander decks to play against him, but we'll give him like no banned list or something like that where he'll show up with like a Black Lotus and like how crazy would that be? Like, man, I bet he would go for something like that because no one plays his arch enemy. I don't know if he would. I'm a Patreon subscriber, but I dude, that would be so tight to play with somebody like that where like we make some crazy rule like yeah, there are no rules for you. You're the arch enemy. Here are the cards, here are the schemes, and it's
mhm.
3v1 and you're evil Rudy, the evil Rudy investor, right? Like I can see him getting into something like that where he's like balls to the wall, like you're talking like alpha lotus kind of shit. And we do it all via like Zoom, right? Like where all he would need is a couple cameras and like he would need one camera and we would be able to put him on like the big screen and play.
Yeah, I need to. Yeah, speaking of like over on camera, like that also like opens up so many horizons because like this camera, granted it's good, it's on my laptop.
Yep.
I do want to get. I have one fucking somewhere, but I want to be able to have it. I'm still going to use this one, but for game playing, I can just have it down so people can just
Yep.
see the thing if I have to go remote. So, but yeah, dude, Arch Enemy, that would be fun. Yeah, eventually I want to play. I think I've only played with you a handful of times. I remember the last time we played because you were like, I counted something of yours and you're like, cool, you're going to die first. And I was like, okay, that's sick. That's fair.
Oh man. Yeah, and I rebuilt a lot of my decks too. So I have more decks than what I did when like I those 12, 14 decks. I rebuilt some, but I really started getting into foils and like judge promos. And
Hmm.
so I'm like, oh man, like I don't have any strictly competitive decks, but there are some decks that I have where I'm like, I do own like a Lion's Eye Diamond. I own like I don't own like the heavy hitters, but I do own like I own all the fetches, obviously. Don't own any of the dual lands yet, but I'm just trying to get into like play cards that are unique
Hmm.
because like the guys I play with, they all have like 3 or 4 decks. And like it's just fun because like I'll show up with a brand new deck that they've never seen before. So
This,
it's really cool. And this is a good thing to keep in mind because it throws off the meta so much when there you don't have a meta, right? Like where I walk into most card shops with 12 decks and I don't have a meta. Like I have a deck I usually start with to gauge it, but then
mhm,
like they have no idea what's coming next.
yeah.
And if they're like, I don't like the people that walk in with one deck only because some of those people are kind of like, well, I'm here, I have one deck, good luck. Like, and like, there's not that power level is a good thing to discuss, but it strikes me as a missing opportunity to like find a good play group for that person.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, like I don't know what my power level is. I have like high dollar cards,
Mm.
but like nothing really set in stone. Like that I can't say like, oh, this can go against competitive. I mean, I've gone against a singular competitive deck, but I was also being a dick because he was one of those guys that was like Thassa's Oracle and then the one black whatever card. Um, and
Oh,
so I
Commander
just
Constellation.
yeah, and he was just kept pissing me off because he kept running that deck over and over again. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna run Mariki. Mariki is literally just untapping one Sun Titan, board wipes, and then counter spells. And so I just kept holding up counter spells. And he was like, well, what the fuck? And I was like, no, you gotta use Yanet now. You can't you can't do anything. And then he would try to get Thassa's Oracle from the graveyard. I'm like, no, counter spell.
That's
Go
funny.
go eat a deck. I'm tired of this stupid fucking combo.
1v1, it's not so bad. I moved away from a lot of the counters just because, like, I don't know, like it creates a weird type of, like, the only, like, I have some of my better decks have like 3 counters, 4 counters in them, and that's my group hug deck. That is very, like, the counters is Swan Song, where I give you a bird, where I'm like, hey, how do you feel about a bird? I'm gonna give you that because I'm the group hug player.
Yeah.
The assist counter one is really fun to use.
Do you have the hippo deck?
No,
I
no,
really want to build a hippo deck.
I have KT. I have the one that
Mhm.
I just bought the hippo though. I bought the, let me show you which one I bought. Hopefully it has it. Do you remember how to spell his name?
Dude,
Buildograph. Let me see here. I think it's PH, but I'm gonna try to pull him up. I bought the
yeah, it's
Hebrew version.
PHEL
PHE.
PHELDDAG. What's a fucking dumb name?
Yeah, there he is.
Belder.
Because I got this version, but it's in. Oh, let me share my screen again. It's in Hebrew and it's foil. It's the.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. Like you can't. Let me see this. Yeah, I got this one.
Damn, dude.
Got it in good condition too. Well, it just looks so great too. Like it's the old school one. It's pretty cheap. I think I got it for like $15.
This is I like this one. If I could get both of them, that'd be great because I low key like the fucking fat one is just so fucking adorable.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I really like. I wanted to have a group hug deck, but like because like all of my decks are kind of. I spent most of my time perfecting, and it's not even perfect yet. But getting Mariki to a good play level to where I can handle like if someone's gonna like do a like there's this guy that was running, I think it was Golgari, and he did turn 3 win. He drew half his deck and then just laid out his win con. And I was like, that's turn 3, great. I guess I'm gonna go fuck myself. But so like with Mariki, like it's openly like, hey, can I play this because I'm a dick?
Yeah.
So like having that and then immediately the next game doing group hug, that'd be kind of nice.
Yeah, this is the guy I run. And he's a lot of fun. Everyone has fun with this deck. Like everyone, like if I went on game nights tomorrow, I would play this deck. Just because it's more unique than, like, it's my deck too, like where there's not a deck list for it. Has all the voting mechanics in it, has a lot of the assist cards in it, has like weird voting things, like where the win con usually is me taking 8 to 12 extra turns with the voting mechanic, right? Where like you control their votes. Like there's a bunch of weird cards that no one plays. And I just grabbed all the temps and the join forces cards. Like my favorite thing to do is like turn 2, you join force to the land ramping card where everyone pays in their 1 or 2 mana that they have open. Everyone finds that many basic lands. And so by turn 2, we're on turn 6. And so everyone kept hands. Like this deck wins me so many games because I'm not never the threat until like turn 10. And like the win con, like it has a sub theme of lands matter. Like so like I'll make a bunch of tokens. I I might have given you this card, but I made a video. Like you can make 30-second videos on YouTube just to upload, and I made one on this one.
I currently have that card, yes.
Yeah, And like I play this card, I'll give someone the win con too. If someone's being a jerk, I'm like, hey, is there any win con in your deck? I'll give it to someone else and they'll win the game that way. So like I just have so much fun with that deck because I'm like sitting on, and there's only like 3 or 4 counters in the deck, and none of them are like counters that um don't really get into like mean counters. There's no force of will. It's like Swan Song, Arcane Denial, and those ones are just fun to play. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely obviously don't have a force of will. Nor do I like. If I stumbled upon one, great. But like, holy fuck, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. I have like 2 or 3, I think, just from I actually bought some gold border ones. I really like gold bordered cards.
What are gold bordered?
So gold border cards are not tournament Lego. Gold border. But they're made by Wizards of the Coast. So I got a bunch of these. They're like signed cards. They're not actually signed.
Oh, interesting.
So they come from the World Tournament deck. So whoever played in Worlds, they printed off their deck and then just did a gold border instead of making the real decks. But a lot of them, I need that card. But yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, man, let me know if you're free again. We should do this more. It's just fun to chat, whether it's 15, 20 minutes, and then we can kind of bounce ideas, especially when the spoiler seasons. And I'll try to get this uploaded soon. It's been kind of fun editing too.
Whenever you do get it uploaded, just let me know. I've been slowly just working on lists. Like eventually I'm going to just I want to do whether it be a segment or an entire episode of just combos because the combos that I've created in my decks are really wonky and weird, and some of them are like why would you do this kind of thing, and I'm like, I don't know, because I fucking want to. Like especially with Sharoom, I was like, I'm gonna make sure that I have 6 cards out and then I can combo up because I'm like,
Sharoom's really interesting, and it's kind of a combo deck. You could also make it like, do you have that stupid Sphinx that makes someone's life 10?
No.
It's an artifact.
What is it called?
Look it up. Yep.
Oh, this shit. The Sphinx.
Magister. You blink that, you could turn everyone's life into 10.
Wait, hold on. Let me go back to the screen.
This is an artifact.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And you could just, I mean, I'd be very tempted to run like an Entomb package in that deck. But yeah, let's save that for another episode. I think we almost want to do like one deck at a time, and like do big, like we could record multiple, but like let's get a clear split then next,
Yeah, I would definitely want to do like one deck at a time, and then like every so often do like what's another weird fucking combo, but like I would like to do techs of like one of your decks, one of my decks, so on and so forth, just because you and I are very much in the same boat of like, I want to make something really wonky and not like meta deck.
Yeah.
Because I do it all the fucking time in standards. So like it's nice to be able to just have access to building 100 card decks with just random shit.
Right.
And then being able to still combo out with like these weird combos or with these
weird
cards.
And it would be cool, especially if we're like, I don't know the best. Architect's pretty good, right? Architect, like where it actually shows you the deck, like you put it into not like Scryfall, but it's like a website where you build it on the website. Architect, I think, is the one that a lot of people use. Architect. Is it? Oh, I spelled dick. MTG. I spelled that way wrong. But here are like recent decks. And then like they do a pretty good job with like showing like the breakdown.
Oh, interesting.
And it's pretty visually kind of appealing too.
Yeah. Dude, I have this deck. It's so fun.
Yeah, I have this one too. It's not
It's very
exactly this though.
oh mine is definitely I run like three, I think like maybe four planeswalkers. I run
Uh,
Nissa, who shakes the world. She's really good with ramp. Obviously, I run that card. I run her as well. But yeah, let's do text for sure.
yeah, yeah. Well, and what I'm saying though is we could like if I have 2 hours of your time, 3 hours, and we're doing 15-minute videos, we just gonna need to make a clear cut and just say, cool, next one. Because that's what like actually Jimmy and Josh do that all the time. They just have t-shirts sitting around, just throwing it. Like they probably are only filming for a day. Like they film for an entire day and then they send it all to edit and then they just like chop it apart.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, Jordan and I, when we would film content, if we weren't, because we made like something called Drunk Magic the Gathering, where we made it a drinking game, which is really stupid.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, but holy Christ, is it? We cleared a handle of vodka in 2 hours. It was rough, but
Dude, if he plays Commander, I'm down.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's just, but when we do like so we used to film the podcast, which we still can, we just haven't. It's just easier for us to do audio. But so we would film the podcast and then we would do something called Road to Mythic, which was like just pretty much standard play and
Yep.
ranked. And then we would do my video and his video at the same time, and then we would just edit them. Sometimes we would just send the video to each other so we didn't have to fucking hear each other talk or hear ourselves talk. But yeah, we would just do everything in one day just because we liked not doing that all the time. But yeah, this deck is pretty good. This is really similar. I don't have a Cyclonic Rift, I mean, at all, because holy Christ, it's expensive.
Yeah, it's
I don't think I have Enlightened Tutor. What is that?
$32 now. Yeah, I run a bunch of weird cards in mine though.
Yeah, I still need to get a Ristic Study. I want to get a
I would cut that.
the card draw.
Yeah, because you're already drawing so many.
Oh yeah. Oh, you would cut the Ristic Study? Or
No,
the
they
Teferi's Ageless. Yeah.
for a 4 drop. Like most of your, it costs you 2 to drop. Like I would cut some of these cards. Like Return the Ranks, I would cut because it's 2 CMC. Like most, there are infinite combos with High Alert though. And what's the other one? I don't even know if he has it. Oh, it's in the creatures. This one.
I think I run that card.
Yeah, it goes infinite with when you have enough walls. It goes infinite with the High Alert.
How does it go infinite?
So High Alert reads.
Dude, you keep going over it. It's
Am I really? Oh
Dude,
man.
just go 3 up. 3 up.
Oh,
There you
so
go.
2 white and a blue, and you untap it. So you need.
Oh fuck! Hold on. I don't know why the fuck I didn't. Sometimes combos just
Yep.
don't process.
A lot of people don't know though. Like you have to reach the right stage though. Like because with this is add X of mana of any combination.
Yeah.
So if you have 5 defenders, which I mean they're all. I mean there's a 0 drop. There's a 2 drop.
Let me see if I have it. I think I do.
Damn, that's funny. I don't have this one, Riptide Turtle. You flash it out. It's a defender with flash.
Wait, what the fuck? Do I might have that shit.
Oh, it's a common. I probably do somewhere, but it's not.
Yeah, you do. Honestly, you probably do. Yeah. Fuck yeah! I really want to do deck techs. This would be fun.
Yeah, I would just like let's kind of start planning that out.
Bam, baby. Okay, I figured I
Got
had
it.
them. I didn't
Yeah,
realize this damn thing had an infinite comp. What am I supposed to do with that though?
it really depends. I mean, you need like an X spell.
Yeah, because I don't have any X spells in here, I don't think. I have
Yeah, I don't
Teferi,
know what
Time
he's.
Raveler.
A lot of people don't even realize that, though, right, man? Like, so I don't see any besides return the ranks because there's a green and X one, like the one that costs $50 from War of the Spark. Um, I don't remember what it's called now. It's so good. Yeah, I have no idea.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I
don't
mean,
have anything in here.
I'll probably look at combos because it's like,
You can make people draw out their entire deck, right? Like if you have infinite mana, you can do whatever you want.
oh yeah, target player draws. I mean, if I put a lab man and then just like each player mills
Yeah, and
whatever.
you don't want to do Lab Man because you have other decks with Lab Man, but you
Yeah,
get
for sure. I could probably find another weird wacky combo because I want most of my combos to be because dude, I literally have like lab man in both of my Esper
well,
decks.
and this is my problem with this type of deck is it's like you throw Fierce Guardianship in every deck. Cool. You throw Swan Song in every deck, right? Like where it's like really like tower defense is kind of fun though. Creatures you control
Tower
get
defense is
plus
dope.
5. Oh, that is so good.
In this deck. Yeah, it's
Oh
fun.
wow. I don't have that card in this deck. Huh.
Yeah, I
Eh,
don't. There's a lot of these big ass cards that I don't have. Like I actually don't run a lightning greaves in this. I don't even think I have a lightning greaves. Fierce guardianship, I don't run. I don't have, but the majority of these, like, I would run Mystic Remora in this, obviously, but
I'd run more one-sided board wipes. Like there
there's
are
the oh, what's the one? Does he run it? Hold on. There is a one-sided board wipe because
there's like
that's
4 of them.
based on power,
Yeah.
but you're running defenders.
Yeah. But he has 2. I have like 4. I would not run this card
Well, it's good.
for one turn of
Yeah, I mean you're running, which is you're literally chunking houses at people, dog. You're just throwing walls.
yeah. I don't this card, like I was so mad I couldn't find it. And then I almost ordered it and then found the foil just sitting around. I was like, oh
Oh, I
yeah,
forgot about that
this
card.
card is so good.
I actually run Birth of Meletis in this deck.
Yeah.
It's a little it's not even slow, it's a 2-drop, but it's just because it's like guaranteed planes, and I'm like, cool.
But
And
hey
then I
man,
run
I'm getting
Wilderness
off. This has been
Reclamation.
fun. Let me know when
Yes.
you're free.
We
Because
can
we
just
can
get we can just schedule this every Thursday. I'm down.
yep.
Because I mean, I literally I'm starting the podcast back up again. And so like I can just and it'll be on Thursdays, hopefully. So it'd be cool to just like do both of them just
Both
for
at the
my
same day.
schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. But because even if like we do like the joint thing, it'll just be in one day. But anyways, yes, I would like to do this weekly because this
Cool.
is fun, especially because new spoilers coming out and we have